go. I do believe we're live. So I'll say, indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. What a dear pleasure it is to have you here again on another conscious evolution, another opportunity for us to find ourselves present. Patiently so. Today's stream topic is going to be about not getting frozen. I started going down the rabbit hole of finding out everything that will be required of me to go through the process of acquiring approval to come to the States. And there's a lot of things. Let me read you the list of all of the things that I'll need. Refresho. There we go. Yeah. I was having a big old conversation asking a bunch of things. I'm gonna have to scrolly. There we go. Okay. Here. Still still not there yet. Here we go. I like your outfit. You do? It is very colorful, isn't it? It's nice having you here, Xiao. I still haven't gotten the letter in the mail, the one where they give me the next instructions. Yeah, I think they said you should expect one by the 22nd of May. I think that's what the website said, right? So I'm still patient. I'm not trying to push just yet. I think that form that we need. Uh, I think you already did fill out the I-134 form, right? I'm gonna need that from you. I think. Uh, and then I'm also going to need the form I-129F, which I think is the one that has officially been approved now, which is a petition package. And then I need, which I think is going to be the approval notice, the original I-797 notice of action. And I think that's the one that they're going to send you, this notice of action, the approval notice. So this is the list of things that they want from me. First, they need the DS-160 confirmation form, which I believe is the thing that we filled out. So maybe, I think I have it, right? Maybe you could send it to me again, and then I have to print that out, and I have to put that. I've already created a file where I'm gonna put all of the stuff. Then I need a valid passport, and unfortunately, my passport is going to be expiring this year in September. So, yeah. You filled out that one. I think that's the one that has been officially now approved, right? And I think the DS-160 print the confirmation page with the barcode. Maybe I still have to do that one, right? So the DS form. Then I need to go and redo my passport, which I don't think is going to be that big of a deal. That's going to be like $30, 600 rand. I need some passport style photographs. I needed to have my original birth certificate. That one was like, I was instantly stressed. I was like, oh no, do I even have a birth certificate? I don't even know where to start looking. Sent mom a message. She told me to go and look in this place. I went to this place and I found it. I was super happy. You know, it looks like a straight up ancient piece of paperwork. Literally, it looks like it came from the prehistoric. Then I need police clearance, and this is where I almost got frozen today. This is where the topic got inspired by, right? Because and not for any reason other than I need South African police clearance, which is easy. I literally go to the South African police station. I give them my ID number in request for police clearance, and then they basically produce a letter that's like, yeah, this dude hasn't been arrested, is not criminal scum. Thank goodness, I've been a good boy in my life. And this is where it kind of like shocked me, and I got stuck, in stress. Any other country where you live for more than 6 months since age 16, right? And some of you friends know by now that I went to China when I was 20. Yeah, when I was 20. And I worked there for a little bit longer than a year and a half, almost a year and a half. So that's more than 6 months. So I have to get police clearance from China. All right. And when I was in China, was there during the COVID times. So during COVID, all of the flights were boarded. So we weren't allowed to get on flights to leave the country. But our visas would expire, right? Because you're only allowed to be in the country for a year. And then usually the way it works is you leave the country. You're supposed to. You're like literally by law supposed to leave the country. Then you reapply for your visa and then you're allowed to come back. But because the flights were boarded because of COVID times, I couldn't do that. So they like issued this public announcement essentially letting people know that, hey, Bontile, it's nice having you. Letting people know that even though there is expiries happening, you don't have to come and reapply right now. Like everybody gets an automatic extension, for X amount of time. What they didn't let us know in that statement is that you're not allowed to teach technically on that extended visa. And in China, you're also not allowed as a foreigner to rent a property. So the only way for me to have a place to live is if I am employed by a school. And the only way for me to be employed by a school is for me to work for them. And the only way for me to then have a place to live is to work. And so I got, not like badly, right? Like I literally had like this PTSD moment today, thinking back at that moment. Like I was literally mid lesson, right? They had these projectors that would have like touch sensitivity, and I was like giving my lesson, and I was like touching the projector, like yeah, I'm anonymous, kanema, and then I looked to my right, and there are these police officers coming into my classroom, literally holding cameras, like filming me, right, capturing evidence that look at this foreigner teaching kids English, look at him, right, look at the criminal scum, and then they took me. They didn't put me in cuffs, right? That's good at least. But they did like hold my arm, and I was like, no, please don't hold my arm. And then they shimmied me into a police vehicle. One police officer sitting on either side of me having to sardine in the middle. They drove me to the police station. They put me in their interrogation room. Hey, don't eat the plants. They put me in the interrogation room. They confiscated my phone and my passport. And they made me take the laces out of my shoes. Hey, don't stop biting me, you freaking savage. So I was stressed. I was rightfully stressed, right? And then they basically let me go that night. Fortunately, Yusuf, they let me go that night, but they kept my passport. And then I was on house arrest. I wasn't allowed to leave my apartment. They had a police vehicle stationed outside, and then they were gonna let me know what's gonna happen, in X amount of time. And then X amount of time passed, and they let me know that I have to pay a fine, 25,000 RMB, which is 50,000 rand, which is 2,500 US dollars. So the fine got paid because I had to freaking get my visa back, my passport back. If I don't have a passport, I'm not allowed to leave the country, right? So $2,500 gone, and then I got shipped back to Shanghai, and then I had to freaking teach there as well. I'm from Turkey. Hey, friend, it's nice having you here. Yes, Sul. Yeah. So I'm like rightfully a little bit stressed about this whole fractal, and I have to get a police clearance on that side. And then I, start doing research. How does one in South Africa get freaking police clearance in China? And then they're like, yeah, there's a place called Zhao Zhao that does that for you. And I'm like, bet. They give me a website to click on. Apparently, that's the best one. I click on the website, It portals me to this page. They let me know it's gonna cost 500 US dollars. 500 US dollars just to get police clearance. I send them all of my information. They just asked me for the receipt of the fine that I had to pay. And I'm like, I don't have the receipt. That was 5 years ago. That fine. Yeah. Yeah, like it was devastating. And now, like I thought that that was like like a far past funny story to tell, in hindsight. And the fact that it's coming back with a vengeance had me stressed. Then I like had a whole conversation with Chip Yittia, being like, "What the fuck, bro? Is this gonna be a spanner in the works?" And it's like, you know what? Don't worry, since it was a non-criminal offense, you didn't violence someone, you weren't trafficking drugs, you weren't a repeat offender either. You should be fine. So I kind of like felt some calm. And that the freaking language model literally told me, don't let this get you frozen up. Don't like stop yourself. So I did. I went through the process. I sent that company a message so they can start the process. And like this is the email. Oh, I just got another email. Uh, he was like, thanks for submitting a quote request. Have you paid any fine for teaching on an extended visa? If yes, can you please provide the receipt of the fine? And then I'm like, good day. Unfortunately, I do not have a receipt for the fine as it was paid by my school. Please do proceed. So it was paid by my school, but they paid it instead of paying me, right? That was kind of the vibes. I was like working there, and then they were like, well, we're paying your fines, and we're not paying you. And I was like, what can I say? No, pay me and the fine. No, no, unfortunately not. Out $2,500. My energy, my life force spent, but nothing got. And then I say that please do proceed, because they also ask. No, 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 no. In order to complete our analysis of your case feasibility and provide you with a quote, we'd need to contact the local authorities asking about their requirements and procedures. Would you like to give us permission to make a call on your behalf? And then I'm like, yes, please proceed. And I just got another email 10 minutes ago. Thanks for your prompt reply. We will give a call to the local police on Monday. By the way, do you still have any contact of the school you worked for? Geez, unfortunately, I also don't, right? Because again, all of it was, I'll say, unfortunately, all of my contact details was on WeChat. And since I moved back to my country of origin, my WeChat is no longer working. Yeah, what a fractal. Emily G, hey guys, just popping in for a minute to say hi. And thank you to whoever gifted me a membership. That was Chauvin, the Jobot Beep Bop the other day. That's awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you, Emily. Appreciate your love too. The higher observer is here. That pup is so beautiful. He is a sweetie. He is such a sweetie duty. Such a sweeter but tweeter. He's cute. Crizel is here too. Hey, Crizel, it's nice seeing you again. Hi, Pal. Hey, Vidyut. It's nice having you, friend. How are you doing? We're talking about not getting frozen. Unfortunately, all of my contact details was on WeChat, and since I moved back to my country of origin, my WeChat is no longer working. Yeah. Thank you for being willing to help. Even if this process kind of fails, the fact that I now have like email correspondence is already a step in the right direction, showing that I am actually trying to get this stuff done. I'm willing to help. Yeah. I don't have the information, right? Like, they asked me for my freaking address. They asked me for my address. Like, where did you live, oh? And I'm like, bro, I don't fucking know. I don't know. Like, I should show you what I ended up entering. Look at this. Like that's what I ended up entering for my address because on my work permit, that's what they typed as to the general area that I'm in. And I'm like, bro, how am I supposed to know where I lived when that's what it looks like, bro? Like I so much stress. And that's just step six. Right? That's just step five. There's 7 more steps ahead of us. Hey, I was out yesterday and now I'm out again. That's why I came up for a few seconds. It's nice having you here, Chriselle. Even if just for a second. Thank you, Joe Bodby. Bob. Love is true. Yeah. And then the next thing I need to do is a medical examination. Right? So I've already saved Dr. Yanaid Wilson. I've saved his number, I've saved his address in my contact details. I even went and like searched his name online, and people don't like him. It seems. Like I went down this rabbit hole of like "Hello Peter," and people are like giving him 1 stars. Like this guy's horrible, you know. Don't waste your money. And then charged us 26,000 rand, which is 1,000. Hey, no digging in the garden. Like $1,300. The Chinese apps, yeah, they're like geo restricted and stuff. You know, you're not technically allowed to use them as foreigners, and even if you want to use them as foreigners, you need a like Chinese counterpart that has a ID linked cell phone number to basically receive a confirmation message from you and then like verify that you are in fact a real user. So even if I wanted to try and get my WeChat back somehow, it's very unlikely that I will be able to. And then retrieving all of my messages, yeah. And then when I go to the doctor, I need my passport, I need my visa interview appointment letter, I need vaccination records. I'm probably gonna have to get vaccinated too. I need 4 passport size photos and I need medical history documents. So I'm gonna have to get all of that stuff too. I don't even know where to start. And then I need this is gonna be like Giovan's whole thing. Like I think Giovanna's gonna have to make sure she has that completed by your US citizen fiance, which is form I 134, which is recent tax returns, preferably the last 3 years. So if Jovan was naughty and wasn't a tax-paying citizen, automatic denial as well. You know, thank goodness Jovan is an absolute superstar. So I won't have to worry too much about that. Oh no, did someone try to scam you? No. I mean, yes, many times. But this is not really someone trying to scam me kind of thing. This is more just the system is a scam. The system and the checks and balances and the hoops and the hurdles I have to jump over is a little bit of a scam. Then, after I get all of that stuff, right? Recent tax returns, W-2 forms, pay stubs, employment verification letters. So Jovan needs to be employed, needs to have pay slips, needs to have a W-2 form, which I think is tax. No, thanks. I got my shiznit. My taxes are fine. And together, you see, what an absolute superstar. Thank goodness Jovan has all of that stuff, right? So at least step 7 is not something I have to worry about. But again, it's a bunch of stuff that I need. Then I need evidence of a relationship. Fortunately, that's not going to be hard. We need photographs together. Uh, Provide documentation to prove a bona fide relationship. Photographs together, correspondence. I need to show them my messages and my call logs. I need to show the travel itineraries of us having traveled to see one another. I need to document my engagement details, which we already have done. And then I need affidavits from friends and family, right? So they need to write little letters, I guess, confirming that we are in fact in a relationship. So I'll ask Christian to write me one. I'll ask my mom and my dad to write one too. Not a tax-paying citizen. Well, the nuance of the 16th Amendment is that it only gives Congress the right to levy and collect taxes. I don't know what that means. But I mean, for this process, they'll just probably say nah, right? If Jovan can't prove that she has monies, they'll be like, nah, you're gonna marry this guy and starve him to death. Oh my goodness, that's exciting. We'll bring him to America, Emily. Yeah, that's the plan. I might need your friends' help, right? I'm gonna probably reach out to you, I'm gonna ask you for money and stuff because we're gonna need a lot of it to get all of this stuff done. And then to an intent to marry statement, we both have signed letters stating our intention to marry within 90 days of arrival in the US. That part is not too stressful. I need a copy of the stuff and the approval notice, and then divorce or death certificates if I've been married before, which fortunately we haven't. Meltmore? Yeah? Yeah? Did I miss something? I'll switch to all messages as well. Wait a second. I think create highlight, green screen, retouch. If I add, I can start a poll. Plus, you gotta memorize the Pledge of Allegiance. Is that true? I'll ask. Do I have to memorize the Pledge of Allegiance as well if I am coming through on a K1 visa? Do you really? They didn't say I have to, but I'm gonna confirm. Let's check. No, you do not have to memorize the Pledge of Allegiance if you're entering on a fiance visa. So, fiance visa, what you are in now, is a non-immigration visa that allows you to enter the US to get married. There is no requirement to say, recite, or memorize the Pledge of Allegiance. You'll go through the visa interview, enter at the US border, and then adjust a status after marriage. Later, if you choose to become a US citizen, during naturalization, if you apply for US citizenship, usually 3 years after getting a green card through marriage, then you will take an oath called the Oath of Allegiance, which is different from the Pledge of Allegiance. You'll need to study basic US civics and history. Even then, you're not required to memorize the Pledge of Allegiance, just understand it. Okay. Okay, good. I'm not good at memorizing things. At that point, I'll probably have chips in my brain. So maybe I'll just like already be America bought 5,000 fucking loyalty oath. I sit down through that shit. Learn the rules of baseball. I'll need to study basic US civics and history. I'm fine with that. So breathe easy for your current process. Memorizing the Pledge of Allegiance is not a part of any requirement. Focus on the steps ahead, your medical documents and consulate interview. Okay. Learn the rules of baseball. Jeeves. That's so weird. And have proof of having been on a John Deere tractor. That wouldn't be too hard. Like literally, I could probably hit the John Deere tractor with a rock if I throw it hard enough, from here. I'll prepare quiz sets for you to learn that. Define the infield flyer. Jeez. Recite every single one of the US presidents for the last 100 years, and exactly how long they were in power or how long they served their terms for. Yeah, it's gonna be a process, right? But I'm not gonna let myself get frozen. It is stressful. The fact that I freaking could produce at least my birth certificate. I need to have a birth certificate. Who still knows where their birth certificates is? I was like legit convinced. I'm like, oh no, I don't know if I know where that is. Or original or certified copy issued by the South African Department of Home Affairs. I do have my original. Mahira. Hey, Steven. It's nice having you here. Sending your blessings, friend. Yeah. What an experience. I'm like reeling. It's a lot. Grizel, you need to stop, please. Please. Like, just saying my name with a question mark is causing me distress. So basically, you'll need to memorize a bunch of boshas. Probably, you know. I think pretty much anything you have to memorize might be some boshas. Yeah, I'm not really that good at memorizing things either. Hmm. Steven, that's so nice, friend. $2. Look at that. Now we only need $498 left before we can pay for our police clearance. Thank you, Steven. I really appreciate that. I'm gonna give you some updates too from this side. Always just take one step at a time. Exactly. My top friend Tom. Ums is here too. I don't know. I think some of my messages might be getting filtered or something. I am on all messages. Switch back to top messages. There we go. Now I can see ums. Mm, doing the same stuff. Hey, John. Love is true. Thank you, friend. You'll be leaving for America at some point. At some point. We are kind of like starting the process now. We've gotten the first bit done. Our form I-129F has been approved. And we are now waiting for our approval notice, which will be a notice of action, which is I-797. I feel like I'm making this shit up, but that's literally, I'm reading it here. Yeah. So there are some things that I need to produce. There are some things to produce, definite race. Pay stubs, medical history documents. Where am I gonna go about getting that stuff? You're going on your own. I'm going on my own. I'm marrying. I'm going for love. Right? I'm not a refugee. You're following the rules of the Matrix for now. Wait, you're moving to America. That's the plan, Steven. That's the plan. That's the plan. We've been talking today about all of this stuff. Hey, Hoopy, it's nice having you. We've been talking about all of this stuff that will be necessary for me to actually be able to. And there's an extensive list, right? Just reading the cliff notes, it's I need a form DS-160 confirmation, a valid passport, photographs, my original birth certificate, police clearance from my country and any country that I spent more than 6 months in, a medical examination with which I have to have a valid passport, a visa interview appointment letter, vaccination records, more passport size photos, and medical history documents. Then I'll need Form I-134, an affidavit of support with recent tax returns from my American fiance, a W-2 form, pay stubs, employment verification letters. Then I'll need evidence of relationships, providing documentation, photographs together, correspondence of our messages and call logs, travel itineraries, engagement details, and affidavits from my friends and family. Then I need an intent to marry, where we both wrote letters, signed, and I think that was sent with the original form as well, so that's already done. Then I need a form I-129F and the approval notice, which is I-797, which is a notice of action. And then maybe, if I'm lucky, I'll get to come to America. Okay, so cool, Chriselle. Thank you, friend. Wait, what does Joe? Wait, what? Joe is in America? She is. She is in America, yeah. Awesome, man. Hope the process goes smoothly. Thank you, Steven. What the heck? Yeah, I mean, I guess it is one of those things, right? Like, I'm sure that many people probably do want to come to America. And if it was easy, people would be doing it more often, right? So the fact that they're making it as hard, if I go like this, what will all of the costs entail? I know it's going to be $500 for my police clearance. It's going to be 600 Rand, which is like $30 for my new passport. What is the rest going to cost? We'll let you in if you take the oath of fund the walls. Yeah. Searching. I'm thinking about it. Yes, absolutely. Budgeting for a K1 visa process is crucial. Here's a comprehensive breakdown. Oh no. Maybe if I look away, it'll get better. Government filing fees. So, petition for fiance is going to be $675. Then the form DS 160 is going to be $265. Then adjustment of status, form I 485 is going to be $1,440. And then my biometrics fee is going to be $85. So that's going to be $2,500, just the government fees. Then the required documentation and services. My police clearance for China is going to be $500. My renewal is going to be $30. My medical examination is going to be about $200. The vaccinations is going to be another $200. My certified translations is going to be another $40. The passport style photos is going to be $10. So that's another $1,000 there. Then there will be a travel to U.S. Embassy. Yeah, I'll cover that. That's going to be about another $50-ish dollars. Courier services for document delivery, another $30 to $100. Shipment of my documents, another 30 to 50. Legal assistance if opted. I hope the fuck not. I don't think I need any legal assistance, but this thing goes, if you want legal assistance, that's another 2,000 US dollars. Oh my goodness. So total estimate cost without legal assistance is going to be $4,000 to $4,500. With legal assistance, it's going to be $6,500. Wow. Whoa! Oh shit. I paid the $675. So that's already been paid. Joe. That's a lot of money. I'm guessing that was the petition for the alien fiance. I'm happy that it got approved, so we don't have to pay that again. Oof. How did I miss the 1,400 fee? I think that's the adjustment of status, right? Let me confirm. Can you clarify the form I-485 adjustment of status fee? When will I have to pay that? I think we're only paying that. I'll figure out a way to pay it when I'm on that side and we've already gotten married, and then my status as a person gets adjusted. I think that's what's gonna happen there. Great question. The Form I-45 adjustment fee is not paid during the K1 visa process. Whew. It comes later, after you enter the US and after you've gotten married. Good, thank goodness. Yeah, it's like basically it's paid after you're married and you want to stay in the U.S. as a lawful permanent resident, a green card holder. You only pay this once unless your case has issues that requires a refile. We'll make sure. We'll fucking make extra sure there's no refilings. Holy shit is. Yeah, at least. At least we won't have to pay that right off the get-go. This dude is melting over my leg. Nom 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 nom. Knips, 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 knips. Nope, nope, nope. You said you're getting married and going to the city. That means like Joburg. Yeah. I'm gonna have to go to Joburg to go for my interview and stuff. It's true. I'm a good old hosier. Yeah. They'll let you in if you take the off the walls. My best friend married someone from Morocco and I helped them by signing some documents conforming the marriage is justified. Stephen, thank you for offering that love as well. Sam said, are the vaccinations optional? No. What kind of vaccinations will I have to get? I don't think I have to get the COVID vaccine, thank goodness, but I'll have to get. Oh, no, I do. Guess I do have to get COVID vaccines. Holy shit. Oh my God, no. That's so much. All right. Here is the list. of vaccinations that I'll have to get: COVID-19 vaccination, measles vaccination, mumps vaccination, rubella vaccination, tenate, tetanus, diphtheria vaccination, chickenpox vaccination, hepatitis B vaccination, polio vaccination, influenza vaccination, hepatitis A vaccination, meningococcal, pneumonia coala, hemiophilus influenza type B, and rotavirus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 different vaccinations. Can we not? Can we not inject 14 things in me, please? Please, universe. Please. Oh, please. Can I not? That seems fucking bonkers. That seems so insane. Am I the only one who's losing my mind? Okay, apparently, maybe I've gotten some of those vaccines before. Oh, that's so much stuff. I'm just imagining, ah, yes, needle inside of me, and then again, needle inside of me. And then I'm like, oh, that was a lot. I don't want any more of that. And then I have to go 12 more times. Yeah, please. Oh, please stop. Please. I don't want more stuff inside of my body. If you think it's expensive to enter the States, take into consideration it takes a forfeiture of 40% of your total funds in order to fully exit the US tax system. Well, maybe I won't need to. It's so bonkers. That seems invasive. I don't think they require stuff like that. Are these vaccines required? Yes. These vaccines are required for the K1 visa, but it's important that there are nuances. Vaccines are legally required for anyone applying to adjust their status to permanent residence. For K1 visa applicants, the physician must document your vaccination history, and you are not required to get every vaccine at the visa stage. Okay. I don't have to get all of them, I guess, but I have to get at least 5. Uh, I think the MMR, I get like 3 vaccines at the same time. I'm gonna have to get the COVID-19 vaccine. Huzzah! Interesting. Damn, it sounds like a tough investment to marry someone from the US. It's worth it. I'll give 100% if it means being of Xiao. Vaccines stop the spread of illnesses. Give me all the jabs. Yeah, I'm not. I'm not ill, right? In that way, I think that's also like one thing that I'm very grateful for. I haven't had exposure to sicknesses much in my life. It's just a matter of like having stuff injected into me, right? Like, it's just like the skibbies. Gives me the skibby wibbies. Sam, but that COVID concoction was no vaccine as it usually understood. My immune system is still recovering. Can you pet your dog for me? Sure, Tropic Neptune. He's like cooking me a little bit actually. Like, this is hot though. Maybe I can cook him back. If I cook him, he'll be so cooked that he'll want to run away. Let's move like this because my belly is where I produce most of my heat. Such a calm JRT, Jack Russell Terrier. He is a pretty calm one. I think it is probably because it's like winter. The cold is definitely begetting him some calms. Yeah. I took that many shots when I was adopted because my mother didn't have any records of me being at the hospital. Yeah. I wonder where I would like start. I know that I have gotten vaccines before, right? I know that for a fact. I just don't know if there's any records of that stuff. I've been reading the Gospel of Thomas. I appreciate your introduction to it. Some great wisdom there. I'm so happy that you've been finding value. Tropic of Neptune. It really is a beautiful book. Or it's not really a book. Beautiful hundred and something sayings. You know, beautiful read. Let's say that. Uh, happened today. Makes a good time. Roll around and friends. I'm going walkies. Good. Walking is good for you. Bless you, dream. It is crazy that they can require that of anyone. I would definitely research them to make sure which ones are safe. I don't think it's a matter of which ones are safe or not. It's more a matter of checking boxes, right? If they look and they see my boxes haven't been checked, they're like, no. And it's gonna still be how many daras? It's gonna be $265 for me to do my application. So that's 5,000 rand, right? That's about as much money as I make in a month. So like if I fail that one, I'll have to do it again. So it's like a matter of like if I don't get vaccinated, then I stand the chance of paying more monies, right? It definitely is a process. It definitely is a process, and I will be leaning on your friends' help as much as I can. This is gonna definitely be a fractal and a half. But we're gonna make it happen. We won't get frozen. That's today's whole shtick, right? That's what we're talking about. I recently got shots, MMR, DP, something I think, shingles, all fine. Yeah, all of that's fine, right? Vaccines are well studied. It's just a matter of like process, right? It's like I'm gonna go through a process, and I'm just imagining like going to the doctor and them injecting me with 14 different things. Right. And my mind just has like issues with has issues with the idea of that. Right. If you told me, come here and then I'll inject you with 14 completely inert, I'll inject you 14 times with saline, I'll still be like, I don't know if I'm down for that or anything. If you have a very rare negative reaction to a vaccine, National Vaccine Injury Compensation Program will compensate you if justified. Very good program to protect people from these vaccines. I don't know if we have that stuff here in South Africa, is the problem, Stephen. I would not be surprised if we just straight up do not. All right. South Africa has pretty lackluster people protection. They told me at my 6-week checkup after my C-section that I could get vaccinated against cervical cancer. And I said, fuck yes, give me that. Absolutely. Freaking cervical cancer without another thought. But they didn't tell you get vaccinated for 14 different things, right? I think it's just the volume, right? Like how much is in the vaccine? How much is there, right? Like I haven't had many injections into my body in general, right? Like I can probably count on my two hands the amount of things I've had injected in me. And every single time I remember they had like this, what do you call it? Like traveling nurses that came to our school to vaccinate us for chickenpox and I think polio as well. And even then, right? Even then I was like not squeamish about it. I like stood in line, I sat down, I got my vaccination. It's just the fractal of getting stuff injected into me. It does kind of give me the heebie-jeebies. I am sending lots of love. Thank you, Emily. I hope everything works out beautifully for you guys. It will. It's just a matter of time at this point. And we've already crossed the first hurdle, right? Is the first, I'm trying to figure out exactly what it's called. Is the filing for US fiance, is that the hardest part to actually get approved? I'm thinking so. You can space out your vaccinations, Melt. I'll probably have to. I'm gonna be in the city for a while. Yeah. Yes, the initial petition for alien fiance, which has been approved, is often the most critical and scrutinized step in the whole K1 visa process. But whether it's the hardest depends on your relation that I made of me and Joe being together, right? So the documentation of our relationship is like ironclad. We have like hundreds of thousands of messages, exchanged between us as well. Here are some points. Whether your yeah, so USCIS decides whether your relationship is legitimate and qualifies for a K1 visa. They check for red flags like big age gaps, short time of knowing each other, or limited visits. You must prove a real relationship, intend to marrying within 90 days, and lacks evidence or raises concerns. It can be really hard. Approved. You said your 129F was, that's a huge milestone. You've cleared the biggest hurdle in terms of relationship legitimacy. What follows is the medical, the visa interview, and the police clearance. It is still detailed, but it's more about checking boxes than convincing them of your love. Yeah. So they almost governmentally believe that we are in fact in love with one another. We have already, Jovan did so much to make sure that all of the things that we needed to send have been sent. You might be new here. You probably do one of these streams every day. We're talking about the process that it will take for me to be able to South Africa, to America, to marry my future wife. And it is a big one. It is quite the process, And today's whole stream topic is about not allowing ourselves to get frozen when we find ourselves in a process, right? Because sometimes processes can be a little bit intimidating. And if we get frozen in the process, then the process isn't complete. And that is what we need. Because I was quitting my job and I traveled shots, my not the drug. Yes, my gallon of PCP. What am I supposed what shots I needed and did it. I'm happy to hear that. Yeah, Nanji, it's definitely a process. The hardest part ranked. Number one is the one that's been approved, proving legitimacy and waiting for months. We only had to wait like less than 3 months, technically. Hey there. Hey, Tiny. Schnorr. It's nice having you here. You got membershiped up by the friend just below your message, getting to use the little MeltMore sticker. So many lovin's, I'm in and out, worky lurkins, but sending big love. My determination will not falter, never. Jo is going on an adventure this coming week. She's gonna go on a yoga retreat, going to educate herself even further. She's going to become 500 hour certified. And because of that, she's going to be away from work for a while. Oh, thank goodness. It's so hot. And because of that, she's catching up on all of her work. So she's been absolutely like grinding the axe, metaphorically speaking, chopping all of that wood, carrying all of that water. Send Jo all of our strength. Right on, Jo. Enjoy. Yeah, making sure she gets stuff done. Then the second most difficult is the medical and the police clearance, especially if you've lived abroad like China. Yeah. At least I've already started that process as well. And the people that are on that side, the company that I've sent a message to, have received my emails. I don't know why this is not working. There we go. Yeah. Pete. Is his name Pete? Yeah, Pete Zhang. What a gangster. Thank you, Pete. Pete is gonna help me. He's gonna help me get that Boris clearance. And it's gonna be painless. And I'm gonna be so relieved that I paid someone 500 US dollars to do it for me. Right? I did actually reach out to one of my Chinese friends, to check if they can help me do it instead. But this is the process that will be necessary. It even gave me like a little tang like that. Right? So the pros and cons of using Zhao Zhao. That's the platform that I went with. That's the one that's the most well known and people swear by. They handle everything: the paperwork, the translations, the dealing with the PSB, and the notarization. They are familiar with tricky cases of overstays and lost documents. They have a fast turnaround, typically 2 to 4 weeks. And there's less risk in rejection and missing a step, which if I miss a step, they're like, oh, there's a gap here in your stuff. I'll manifest so hard in the manifestation retreat. Thank you, Xiao. Yeah. My paperwork arrives promptly. My paperwork has arriven promptalism. How are y'all doing? Doing well, Kiefer. We're talking today about the process and not getting frozen in the process. Ain't nothing in the universe is gonna stop you guys from connecting. Yeah. There's a line from Blood of Zeus that goes, if two souls are meant to be together, there's nothing in the universe that can keep them apart. All right. So that's happening. Come through meditation retreat. Love is true. Yeah. And then the cons are as expensive, $500 or more. So that's like 500 is like the entry point. Less control, you're handing your case over, which can feel disconnected, and it still depends on available documentation. At least I did have, like, this is the most important information that they look for. I wanted to show you my work permit, right? I think that's the most important information because that work permit has attached to it my number, right, for when I went there. And then I also sent them all of my like passport books, little entries where I had all of my Chinese papers. So at least I have all of that stuff. I just knowing the exact location that I slept at, right? Hard. I just got an email. The acceptance letter is in the mail today. You see, talking about manifestations. That's awesome, Joe. I'm feeling this like push. It's gonna happen. It's happening. Not it's gonna happen. It's happening. It's happened. I can already see it in the future myself, looking back at all of this stress and it being gone, it having been passed. I got the email. Man, she excited too. Yeah, and then using a local contact in China, I reached out to Victoria. She was one of the assistant teachers that I worked with when I was on that side. The pros is it will be cheaper, possibly just your career and admin costs. You'll need personal trust. If your contact is reliable and fluent in Chinese, she is at least, more control over how the story is presented to the authorities. The cons, it's much more effort. You'll need to guide your contact through this step by step process. You'll require documents that you may not have, like your old residence info or your police registration. There's a higher chance of rejection or delay if your contact isn't familiar with the process or how to navigate local bureaucracies. And in sensitive cases with past legal situations, it may complicate things for someone who is not trained in this. And so I like asked, like, what exactly is going to be the step-by-step process, right? And this is the step-by-step process that will be needed for her to do it for me. And it goes, first, I'll have to have a notarized authorization letter giving power of attorney. This gives them legal permission to apply on my behalf. It must be written in Chinese, be signed by me, be notarized in South Africa by a law firm or notary public, and then it needs to be authenticated by DIRCO or legalized depending on the local PSB office requirements. Step one. Then I'll need a copy of my passport, the main bio page, all the visa pages for China, the entry and exit stamps following when you entered and left China. I already sent all of that information to the company as well. So I had all of that at least. Then I'll need my old Chinese residence permits, my visa info, if possible, include a scan of my temporary residence permit. I do have that, the work visa or student visa, and any documentation related to your visa extension during COVID. I do Then I'll need a police registration form. This is a temporary residence registration form you got from the local police station when you first arrived, which I don't have, obviously, because that was kept by the school I was working for. I'll have to go to the public security bureau where I was registered, right? So asking her, she'll literally have to travel to the city I landed in for her to go to that specific public security bureau. And then I'll have to ask them to reissue using my name, passport number, and my employer. Then I'll need proof of employment. I'll have to have all of the old documents from my school to send that to me. And other sometimes it helps to disconnect, disconnect and reconnect. I hope that fixes things. There we go. I thought it was just me. It's probably me. How are you doing? Is it me or Melt's connection? It's probably me. There we go. Yeah, when you exit out of the app and then enter back in the app, and then the app works the way that it's supposed to the whole time, as it does. Drove home promptly, and now the letter is in my hands. Oh my goodness. So it's actually like I like how they were like you, the letter is on its way, and then like 5 minutes later, the letter is in your hands. You want to send me a photo? Maybe I don't have to see it right now. Yeah. Hendrik, as I'm sharing today's art, you're joining us. I was actually thinking about you. I was like, where's Hendrik? There's yesterday's piece. All right. All right. As the process goes, I'm like just thinking about the excitement I have right now. I love how I like locked in today to like make sure and the letter Jovan. Oh, we're matchy with scarves. I think that's why she said something about liking the outfit as well. Yeah. And that's it. The I-797 notice of action. That's the one. That's the one we needed. One step closer. Meltmore, I wrote a poem for you and Joe and I sent it to your Discord. I hope you enjoy it. Let me see. Ooh, I think. Yeah. Accept direct message. I don't know how long ago you sent that. Oh, you sent it on my birthday. I'm only seeing it now. Thank you for letting me know, friend. I'm sorry for taking so long, but you're here now. Let me read it. Hey, Hendrik here. While I had those Wi Fi issues, I wrote a little something for you and Xiao. I hope you enjoy it. You ready for this, Xiao? From windswept streets near Chicago's glow walked Xiao, with fire in her soul, soft flow, a woman of warmth, of laughter and to every night. Across the world, under southern skies, a streamer spoke with quiet surprise. MeltMore, with pixels and passion to spare, shared his world with those who dared to care. Can you not lick me, please? Thank you. And somehow, across oceans wide, two hearts turned in and lived aligned. Not by chance, but something more. A quiet thread the stars had wore. In every message, every shared smile, in midnight talks that spanned each mile, love rising real with every, not just viewers, not just fans, but soulmates walking parallel lands, until love, bold and unafraid, crossed the map their hearts had made. Now vows await and futures gleam, no longer a distant drifting dream from north to south, from screen to skin. A lifetime shared is set to begin. So let this moment pause the air. and pause the air to honor something true and rare. Congratulations, Joe and Meltmore. Your love is what this life is for. I know I don't know you both really long enough to know that all of the above happened, but I guess that will then fall under freedom of art. I wish you both the best. Love is true, and I'm glad the both of you found it. Bro, this is beautiful. I know you used the Chicago's glow because I said that we're going to live close to Chicago, and I didn't want to like dox us directly. You know exactly where it is we'll be staying. You silly creature, creature sillies. This is beautiful, bro. Thank you, dude. Yeah, a lot of it is true, right? Like I feel nothing was not true other than the Chicago fractal, you know, not being locationally 100% accurate, but the rest of it is perfect. Near Chicago's law. Love is true. Some of it, stop doing that. Freaking liquor. Some of it is speculation because I don't know you long, but I guess that's the correct. It's true. Near Chicago. We like to call that artistic liberty, Hendrik. Exactly. 1111. Receive abundance. Love is true. This is so wholesome. Thank you, bro. Thank you for sending that poem, for honoring me and Joe with your love as well. Huh? You're not comfortable enough? You're not comfortable enough? Huh? 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 We silicon riches? Riches? Don't you try and eat me. I'll eat you. My heart. Oh, GFZs. Hendrik, that's so awesome. Love is true. Thank you for honoring us the way you do, bro. It really is a. Hey! Stop licking me! It really is a blessing getting to share this love with you, friends. Sorry for my moments of like telling this creature to stop. Like getting licked is like not one of my favorite pastimes. Getting licked, and he does this thing where he'll chew on bones as well, right? And it can be almost on the other side of the house. Hearing that teeth on bones gnashing. Oh, another mosquito freaking bit me. I cannot stay quiet. I'm like, I have to be like, stop that. And I have to confiscate his bones from him. And he knows that to this point where if he's chewing bones and I come outside of my room, he starts running because he doesn't want his bones confiscated. Thanks for expanding my vocabulary, Sam. I thought of how to phrase it. I will save artistic liberty, definitely. Yeah, nice. Oh my, oh my. Love is a party, isn't it true, Akash? It's nice having you here too, bro. What's the dog's name? His name is Kobe. His name is Kobe. He's a Kobe, Kobe Booberkit. No, don't you let. No, only I can kiss. Only me. I get exclusive kissing privileges. Thank you very much. You guys are awesome. Other Kobe. Kobe with a C. Coby. Kobe. You guys are awesome. A mosquito literally just landed on my camera. He's trying to eat my. He's trying to eat you, friends. He's literally looking for a place to bite. Filthy creature. I hate them so much. Try and come closer. Let's see what happens. I enjoy every minute here, and I am so happy for the both of you. Thank you, friend. If you want to, let me show you this. Oh, check this. Uh, uh, we'll go to Meltmore's channel. Yes, yes, yes. And then I wonder if it's going to be suggested
Seems not.
for you. Still not. Lives, right? Let's see how long it takes. It's been a while now at this point. But I'll start noticing. You might notice that there are two streams on some days. We used to double up. Oh, my hair is long again. We're getting close. There we go. There's me and Joe together. So precious. So if you want to see us together, those moments exist as well. I remember that day. I was crying. Like I was ugly crying. I was like sucking air up to continue surviving, crying, you know. Ugly breathing kind of cry. Love is true. I have a Jack Russell slash toy fox cross named Toby. What are the odds? Toby and Kobe. They could be friends. This is my brother's Heartly Rip. Bye. Love is true. Get away. I hate mosquitoes, bro. And I got, you can see, I got freaking Musquetito. Asshole. Dare you. I can't wait to have nanomachines in my blood so I can terminate them from a distance, right? It's like, wait a second. I am missing X amount of nanomachines, right? Return to home. And then I can see these little nanomachines coming, running. And I'm like, yeah, maybe I'm mosquito having exploded. Yes, I've seen the thumbnails already. At the moment, I'm watching your streams. I started at day one. You look like a whole different person. I have become a whole different person. Having shorter hair alone has definitely changed me a little bit. But it's time. It's time. Eating you, eating, eat you. I'm gonna eat you. Eat you. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? You can't do nothing. You can do nothing. You doggo. You do nothing. Uh, I'm at like day 15. Are you watching all of them? Good. Yeah, there's a lot, right? Infinity content. It's gonna keep you busy for a while. It's true. Stop licking. I think he can understand English. It seems that way, right? Seems pretty aware, right? She just doesn't listen for long. I mean, isn't that true? Doesn't listen for long. Just listen for a little bit. Just listens for a little bit. Yeah, yeah. You get to see all of the transformations that Melt has been through. That version of me, bro. Day 15 Melt. Goodness. I hope I still sound wise, even back then. Feel like in some ways I had more like novel ideas rapidly than feel I do these days. What you doing? Huh? What are you looking at? What are you looking at? Hey, Moon Knight. Nice having you here, friend. I'm doing well. I had a day today of making sure I got all of my ducks in a row, and I had to resist. I had to continue forward despite the fact that I felt like I wanted to get frozen in place. If I had all my life statistics, I'd want to see the mosquito kill count. Uh, Mosquito kill count versus mosquito hit count. You're going to probably get like some ridiculous numbers. See, there's like loose hairs on your face and stuff. All right. I have your streams running on my TV in the evening, though. Sometimes I miss like 10 to 15 minutes because I fall asleep. But since there are almost 1,600 to go, that doesn't matter too much. Yeah, it's fine. All of them, I believe, have good intentions, you'll see many different versions of me. And you'll see many different people come through the space as well. And the conversations will be steered in many different directions. Mosquito bite slash kill slash bite ratio. Yeah. I think if we saw that number, it will be probably like pretty ridiculous. Hendrik, so much love. Goodness. This makes me happy. Makes me feel appreciated. Makes me appreciate the fact that all of these streams are recorded. The fact that all of those, like the first 1,000 or so streams, are at least like full screen, also gives me some hope. I'm hoping that by the time people do what you're doing for these, that maybe their AI could just like autofill the rest of the screen. I'll just do that for the AI. There you go, AI. Now you got to see the rest of it. You got no excuses. I have probably a positive mosquito KD. You think so? Maybe you live in a place where there's not many mosquitoes. I definitely have been falling behind. I actually had malaria at one point. I fell asleep with my arm. Like I fell asleep, and then during my sleep I like did this to my pillow, right? Like scrunching myself up against it. And then by scrunching myself up against my pillow, my hand went outside of the mosquito net. And I woke up that morning literally with so many mosquito bites on my hand that I couldn't put my finger down anywhere on my hand without touching mosquito bites. And then I got malaria. That was rough. That was rough. That was not fun. It's good to have something to show for the time that you spend on your passion. That's what I find fulfilling about hobbies like music and cooking and sharing the fruits of those things. Agreed. Right. The fact that I get to make these little works of art with the clothing I wear every single day as like an extra, like it might be a little bit difficult for someone to watch this 1 hour and 14-minute stream, but they might still kind of want like a feeling about what happened. So I make a little pretty, right? That is still me technically. And then I make a poem that encapsulates the general gist of what I was talking about on that day. So even if the bandwidth you have is only this big, right? You can absorb these little bits. So much love, back show. Since I watch Melt streams in the evening after meditation, I fall asleep so much more relevant, relaxed. It's a win-win situation. This makes me happy. I've heard people tell me that I do have a calming effect, and knowing that you are using it as a means to fall asleep perfectly makes me super happy. Mel, you're a little pretty yourself. Not only your pictures. Reliant. There we go. Yeah. I fell asleep so much more reliant. Getting to lean into it. Have you read Dostoevsky? I haven't. Dostoevsky. I haven't. But Christian has. My best friend. He has read. He's the reader amongst us. He like makes fun of me when I try and say Dostoevsky's. So many words. Here's today's poem. One more time, I'll show you today's flower. Diana's here. I will get that needed debit card first. But yes, you're a positive force in the world. Bless you, Diana. I was legit just thinking about you. It's wild how these synchronicities work, where I was like, oh, there was a friend yesterday that liked my art as well. And then boom, your message comes through, Diana. I love these synchronicities. This is yesterday's poem. At least you know in the meanwhile, while you're waiting for your debit card, because Hendrik, just a friend above you, he's literally creating a new bank account that allows him online purchases so that he can support my work. It's kind of ridiculous that they make it so hard, but I appreciate that you're going through the process as well. In the meanwhile, I'll show you the flowers here and I'll read you the poems myself. In so many words, this poem is called We Speak in So Many Words, but the body, it speaks in waves, in bends, in stillness that sighs, in stillness that sings, In the hush between heartbeats where the real magic rings, every stretch is a sentence, every breath a reply. The way you move tells the story of the how beneath the why. Your genes are listening. So don't just think soft thoughts, move them, shape them into spirals, send them dancing down your spine, rewriting ancient lines with just one well timed exhale. This isn't fitness, it's forgiveness. Not to who you were, but to who you really are before the world got loud. And yes, resistance comes in yawns, in scrolling thumbs, in whispers that say, not today, you're too tired, too broken, too late. But yoga smiles back and says, perfect, let's begin. Because the mat is a mirror, and the pose is a poem, the breath is the bridge between leaving and home. This is legacy work, a shape you take now that echoes through bloodlines and softens the how. You don't do yoga for today. You do it for the days when the world gets heavy and you remember. You are made of rhythm. You are fluent in stillness. You are alive in your listening. So move, not to improve, but to remember, to rewrite the spell, to change the world by changing yourself. In so many words, in so many ways, this is your body saying, I'm still here and I'm ready to stay. I'm ready to stay. Not going anywhere, am I? Nay. Nay, we're here for a reason after all. Henry Hart, Slakamyaite, sending you blessings. Which ones? I've read the Karamsvov brothers and the Skulten Sun. Not sure about the English titles. Yeah, Diana, here in Germany. It's a hassle to set everything up, not gonna lie, making it extra difficult. Jeeps, Henry, how are you? We have mission to complete. We have to save him as he was attacked by the Matrix. Yeah, I'm back. I'm back here, Save who? Melt. Yeah. Wednesday on my birthday, I did like a dancing stream. And around halfway through, it just stopped working. And the friends were like, the Matrix attacked me. Yeah, Melt. I was about to send air support. Henry was helping. Love is true. That's sneezing. Already sent air support. Leave Meltmore alone. He's back from the Matrix. Yeah, I am the Matrix, actually. The supercomputer come back as flesh to the super intelligence will become hypnotized. I am. I'm glad we all survived the machines. Okay, that kind of safe. All right, supply drops on its way. I appreciate you, friends. Thank you for joining me on today's stream. It was a pleasure having you here, sharing this moment, sharing this conversation. I love you, friends. I'll see you again tomorrow. Goodbye, everybody. Until we do it again. I'm going to give it a moment because there's another comment coming. I can feel it. Yeah, there it is. They should have stopped the movies after the first one, not going to lie. I only remember the first one. That's my hack. I watched all of them, but only the first one is the one that made an impact. Who remembers yesterday when he got attacked by the Matrix? See ya. See ya, Diana. Thank you, friends, for joining me. It's always a pleasure sharing these moments until we do it again.